all please stand and we'll worship together. There's nothing worth more that will ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. In your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for. To be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for. To be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, Lord. The head that once was crowned with thorns is crowned with glory now. The Savior knelt to wash our feet. Now at his feet we bow. The one who wore our sin and shame, now robed in majesty, the radiance of perfect love. his body there would not remain. Our God has robbed the grave. Our God has robbed the grave. Your name is victory. Our praise will rise to Christ our King. Your name is victory. Our praise will rise to Christ our King. Who breaks the power of sin and darkness, whose love is mighty and so much stronger, the King of glory, the King above all kings, who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder, who brings us breathless in awe and wonder. just help us to remember, God, how amazing your grace truly is. God, although we're so undeserving, God, you give us unending grace. God, as we worship you this morning, God, just give us peace, God. Give us clarity on who you are to us. In Jesus' name. Coming off the surface, you're coming into focus. We're going back to the basics, the glory of your faces, the reason why we do this. The winds of worship blowing, the doors of heaven open. Jesus, you're at the center. Lord, help us to remember the reason why we do this. Yes, it's all about you. Yes, it's all about you. Always has been, always will be. All about you. All about you. Our priorities are changing. We remember why you made us. We're all sons and daughters, just dancing with our Father. It's not that complicated. Yes, it's all about you. Yes, it's all about you. Always has been, always will be. All about you. All about you. Every story of impossible miracles, it's all about you. Every story of a prodigal coming home, it's all about you. Every story of revival, I know, it's all about you. Your kingdom's all about lives changed, empty grace. It's all about you. Yes, it's all about you. Yes, it's all about you. Always has been, always will be. All about you. All about you. Always has been, always will be. All about you. All about you.
Thank you, friends. You can be seated. It's good to see you here this morning. Okay, just checking. It's great to see you here this morning. Welcome everybody who's joined us on social media. We're glad you joined us as well. As we come to our time of prayer this morning, on the tables kind of scattered around you are some papers that have our prayer list. And I invite you, if you want to take a look at those, remember those folks this morning and in the week ahead. A couple of updates on folks. Yesterday we got word that our brother Jim was traveling and he became very, very ill. And they had to take him to hospital. He's fine, he came back home. But unfortunately, as the EMTs were tending to him, Mona was helping him get ready, and she went back in the RV, and their dear dog Hannah had passed away. So they've got just two things just right there together that were just so sad. But they're doing some better. They got Jim home, like I said, or back to the RV last night, and he is doing some better. But continue to pray for them as they go through this time. Also, I want to ask for your prayers for our sister Mary Ann. She is now under hospice care. She is still at the nursing home. If you'd like to go by and see her, she's in the same room she has been. But we're praying just for this piece of her time. And also, our sister Lisa's mother is under hospice care as well. Junior was just giving me a quick update this morning. Things about the same so far. But please remember Lisa, her mom, and Junior, and their families. Can we take a few minutes in silence? You pray as you're led, and then I'll lead us in prayer together. It gives us great hope that you are greater than anything we face. It gives us great peace to know that we are loved by you, known by you. It is amazing to us still, Lord, when we pause for a moment and reflect on who you are and what you have done for us. That we are incapable of fully grasping it. But we ask that during this hour of worship, our hope would be renewed. Peace would flood our souls. Those that we love that are in need would be helped. And that as we experience the amazing presence that you bring to this place, may we be transformed. Made new. All to your glory. Amen.
Never knew death could be so sweet. Never knew surrender could feel so free. Never seen such meekness and majesty. That the blood of Jesus was bled for me. And now I sing freedom for all of my days. It's only by the power of the cross I'm raised. The King of glory rescued me. How beautiful the blood flowed. How merciful the love shown.
I'm starting a series that I'm going to do pretty much through June and July, a little bit into August, where we're going to look at the I am sayings of Jesus. Now, in John's Gospel, there are multiple times where Jesus says, I am thee. In other words, I am this. The reason why these are considered so important is, if you remember the story of when Moses met God at the burning bush. Moses has this ongoing conversation with God. God sends Moses to go set the people free. And one of Moses' questions to God is, who shall I say sent me? And God says, when they ask you who sent you, say Yahweh, which we translate as I am. The I am sent you. And if you are reading the Old Testament and you see the word Lord in small caps, you know what those are? Like you have the big L and the O-R-D is caps, but it's smaller. That is that word Yahweh, Y-H-W-H. It is the holy name of God. It is the name God gives God's self. So in John's Gospel, when Jesus says, I am thee, he is claiming very specifically that he is God. So this is why these sayings are so important, because when he says them, he says, I am thee, and then he gives a description of himself. The first one we're going to look at is in John chapter 11. And John chapter 11 is a long chapter, is a rich chapter. It is kind of the ending of Jesus' public ministry in John. This is the raising of Lazarus, and after this, the religious leaders determine they must kill him to make sure that he doesn't cause any more people to follow him and disrupt the peace that Rome has bought. This is the very last thing before Jesus has his entry into Jerusalem. Powerful chapter. Amazing stuff. We're not going to read it all. But what I'd like to do this morning is, instead of reading through the whole section I'm going to read, is pause and reflect on it. So, backstory. Beginning of chapter 11, Jesus finds out that his friend Lazarus is ill. Lazarus, Mary, and Martha were brothers and sisters. Best we can understand from the Gospels, they were as close to friends as Jesus had. He spent time with them, stayed in their house, they took care of him. So when he hears that Lazarus is ill, think about it in terms of one of your very best friends. Okay, you get the news that somebody you really love is ill. Jesus hears this. He knows that Lazarus is going to die. He waits until after his death, and then he goes to see him. When he gets close, word gets to Mary and Martha that Jesus is almost there. And this is where our reading begins. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went and met him, while Mary, her sister, stayed at home. Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you'd been here, my brother would not have died. But even now, I know that God will give you whatever you ask of him. Even now, I know. That may be one of the greatest statements of faith in the entire Bible. Even now. Even though things have happened in a way I didn't want them to. I know. Even now, as the one I love is in the tomb. I know. Even now, when what I thought I knew about God didn't take place like I thought it would. I know. There's a little bit of anger in her voice. Do you hear it? Lord, had you been here? You know what? She's right. And she's disappointed. Jesus, we'll get to his response in a minute. But Jesus, at this point, does not scold her. He does not get angry with her. He actually acknowledges, yes, If you hear nothing else I say this morning, please hear this. To say, even now I know, is perhaps the greatest statement of faith we can ever have. To express our disappointment to God that things didn't go our way is not a sin. Rather, it is the sign of an open and honest relationship with God. Yesterday, I celebrated 34 years of marriage to my first wife. Do you know, this will shock you, do you know I've actually disappointed her sometimes along the way? I know. Can you believe it? And this will really freak you out. Do you know she told me? In ways that I clearly understood that I had disappointed her. Let me ask you a question. Is our relationship better or worse because we had a conversation about that? It's better. Holding it in, not sharing our feelings with someone we love, not telling them the truth, not telling them how we really feel, destroys the relationship from the inside out. So it is with God. Even now, God, when it hasn't turned out like I wanted it, I know. And Martha's I know here is not simply it's not simply a mental understanding or a creed or a doctrine. It is, I know who you are, Jesus. You have been in my house. You have sat at my table. I've heard you teach. I've seen the miracles. I know you, a person, God revealed to us. I know you. Therefore, whatever you ask, God will do. The story continues on. Here's Jesus' response. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. And Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection on the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Those who believe in me, even though they die, will live, and everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? She said to him, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, the one coming into the world. I am the resurrection and the life. Two different things. Resurrection is the power to change what has happened. Resurrection in Jesus is the power to change that which seems dead to us back to something new. Resurrection in the person of Jesus is when we go to Jesus and we say, my dream died, my hope died, my peace died, my ability to see the future has died. And Jesus comes to us and says, no, I am the resurrection. And if you place back in me that dream, that hope, that peace, that joy, that whatever, I will make it new. Life is what occurs in the present, in the day, in this moment even. That when we know Jesus and we spend time with Jesus, life flows back into us and it shows us how to live. Resurrection is a person. Life is a person. And when we know that person, those things come to us. Jesus asked one of the greatest questions in all of Scripture. Do you believe this? Do you? It's okay if you answer that question with, I'd like to. It's okay if you answer that question with, yeah, but right now it seems like they're still dead. That thing is still dead. That hope is still dead. Do you believe this? Jesus says to me every day, to you every day. If you answer yes, how will you live? The story goes on where Jesus, through a lot of different interactions with people, he comes to the tomb. He says, Lazarus, come forth. Lazarus comes out of the tomb. And Jesus says another command that, again, is powerful for us to remember. He looks at Lazarus. He says, unbind him. Let him go. Is it a miracle that Lazarus was raised from the dead? Of course it is. But it's not simply a moment in the past. That Jesus showed resurrection. That which Mary and Martha thought had gone past the point of hope had not. That Mary and Martha experienced, along with everybody else there, that life can be breathed back into that which we thought had no hope. That they all experienced the one who had been bound by the very worst that this world can throw at him, heard the words, unbind him. Let him go. Tell me, do you believe this? Do you? I do. It's the most amazing thing I've ever heard. Do you believe that today, that what you thought had lost all hope can experience resurrection, rebirth? Do you believe that today Jesus wants to come and give you a life that is not simply existing, but a life that is full of joy and hope and meaning? Do you believe? Jesus can take what binds you, those you love, and say, let them go. Let them live. Let them begin again. May you believe alongside your doubt, as we all do. May you believe. And may the resurrection of life be present with you. Would you pray? God, we thank you for what you do. Your amazing, incredible work in this world. And that you come to each one of us desiring to make us new and to change our lives. God, come and bring resurrection to those dreams and hopes that we hear are long past. God, come and bring life to us today and fill us with your hope and your joy. May we be a people that are able to say, even now in the midst of our trouble, we know who you are. May you unbind us and let us go. To your glory, your honor. Just a couple of reminders for me before Pastor Ariel comes. We will have Wednesday night Bible study this week, 7 o'clock. I invite you to join us for that. Coming up on the 25th, we will have baptism. If you'd like to be baptized, please let me know as soon as possible. We're going to be at the lake. We're going to be at Gypsy Beach. Baptism service will start at 10 o'clock at the beach. We will come back here for a service at 11 upstairs, just a real short time of singing and praise and giving thanks. And then we'll come down here for, come back, one service at 11. So there's no 9 o'clock service on the 25th. We meet at the lake at 10, come back here at 11, and there will be fried chicken when you come down here. What a great day. So please come join us for that. The 18th, week before that, is graduate recognition at 11 o'clock. We're looking forward to that. And everybody contact you guys. We still need.
I just need to know that they're actually going to be.
Yeah. So if you've got a graduate, or you think someone is supposed to graduate, and maybe they haven't told you some things yet, but they have. Why are you grinning like that? So. We need to talk. Anyway, if you have someone in your house that's supposed to be graduating and you have not told Ariel yet, please let her know so that we can honor them. Because it is going to be a great day. It's going to be wonderful.
Okay, so after the baptism service, the next day we leave to go to youth camp. So if you have not signed up for that, our 6th through 12th graders are going to North Greenville University. And they actually are in the College World Series for D2.
Yes.
And we're going to go watch that this afternoon after Ella's birthday party. It's in Cary. So yeah, if anybody wants to go with us, we're your North Greenville apparel because some of our students have that since we go to camp there. And let's see.
Yes.
Oh yes, VBS is the last week of July, and then every Tuesday in July, not the first week because that's the 4th of July, but every Tuesday in July we will be doing Terrific Tuesdays with our kids. We're going to be going to different places. It will be $10 a week. So if you can do me a favor and sign up, just to or just contact me and tell me that your children will be going to Terrific Tuesdays. It's $10 a week, and we are going to take the church van, and we are just going to roll to all these different places each week. And lunch will be provided. And so they're going to get here at 9, and we're going to roll out. Oh, no, sorry, get here at 10, and we're going to roll out and go a different place every Tuesday with our children. Another thing, I just need you to pray about this, okay? In our Spanish service, we have a lot of people from one town in Mexico. And we have talked to them, and one of them is Baptist, and we are talking to their pastors in Mexico for us to come down and help, okay? So,
As a church.
yeah, as a church. So in like 2024, 2025, we are looking to go to Michoacan, Mexico, and to help them. And they need, like, it is only $10,000 to build a house in Mexico, in Michoacan. So we're looking at maybe doing some of that. The other thing is they need normal supplies. They need stuff like clothes. They need stuff like toiletries, stuff like that. It's actually easier for us to get things like that. But they're so excited that yesterday, one of the guys, Jared said, I swear he's just walking around town, like trying to find the Baptist pastors because he's Catholic. And he's like, they weren't where I thought they were going to be. I'm going to go back tomorrow and see if I can track them down. Because the love that they have felt through Clarksville Baptist already. Most of them attend church more regularly here than they even do in Mexico because of the love that you have provided by even providing a space and meals and worship for them. So we're hoping that maybe we could do a VBS. We don't know what it's going to look like because we're in the beginning stages, but we would like you to pray to see if you want to go, to see if you would be willing to go and to help. And I mean, I'm excited about it because they're now asking us, like you can bring what we do here down to us. Like that's amazing.
This whole thing has just been a real movement in the spirit. It's just really amazing. And by the way, I've never been in a town where someone was seeking out a Baptist pastor. Most people avoid us at all costs. So, that's the whole thing. Would you stand, please, for a blessing? Dear friends, you do not leave here alone. The one who is the resurrection and life goes with you. And whatever awaits you out there, it is no match for the love of God. May that knowledge sustain you, keep you, direct you, guide you. And may we come next week ready to rejoice because of the stories of resurrection and life.